Look, I'm gonna be real with you right now. There's a girl in your life who's been dropping hints, and you've missed every single one of them. Maybe it's that girl from your gym who keeps making eye contact. Maybe it's your coworker who laughs at your terrible jokes. Or maybe it's the girl you've been texting who keeps finding excuses to hang out. And you're sitting there wondering if she even knows you exist while she's basically putting up a neon sign that says, "I'm interested." What's up, guys? If you're new here, hit that subscribe button because we talk about real dating advice for real guys. No BS, no manipulation tactics. Just honest conversations about getting better with women and with yourself. And if this video helps you finally see what's been right in front of you this whole time, do me a favor and smash that like button. Today we're talking about something that's probably cost you more opportunities than you even realize. Missing signals from women who are actually interested in you. And before you think this is going to be me just telling you, bro, she smiled at you, she's totally into you. No, we're going to get specific. We're going to talk about what real interest actually looks like, why you keep missing it, and what to do about it. Here's the thing, and I learned this the hard way. Most guys are so terrified of misreading signals that they end up ignoring obvious ones. I used to do this constantly. I have a girl literally touching my arm while talking to me, finding reasons to be near me, asking me personal questions, and I'd go home thinking, yeah, she was just being friendly. Meanwhile, my friends would be like, dude, she was clearly into you, and I'd be like, nah, I don't want to assume anything. But real talk, that's not being respectful. That's being scared. So let me ask you something. How many times have you found out weeks or months later that a girl was interested in you and you completely missed it? If you're like most guys, it's happened at least a few times. And it sucks, right? Because you were interested too, you just didn't see it. Let's fix that. First, we got to talk about why this happens. And I'm going to be honest with you. There's a few reasons, and some of them aren't going to feel great to hear. But trust me on this. Understanding why you miss signals is a first step to actually catching them. Reason 1. You're so focused on not being a guy who misreads friendliness as interest that you've overcorrected. You've seen those cringe dudes who think every woman who makes eye contact want them, and you're so determined not to be that guy that you ignore everything. I get it. I've been there. But here's what you gotta understand. There's a massive difference between a woman being polite and a woman showing interest, and you're capable of telling them apart. You're smarter than you think you are. Reason 2, and this is a tough love part. You don't think you're worth the signals. Deep down, you don't actually believe a woman you're attracted to would be into you. So when she shows interest, your brain just doesn't compute it. It filters it out as impossible. I used to do this all the time with girls I thought were out of my league. They'd be clearly flirting, and my brain would be like, nah, there's no way. She probably does this with everyone. Reason 3, you're waiting for her to basically ask you out directly. And look, sometimes that happens, but most of the time, women show interest in more subtle ways because, and this is important, they're taking a risk too. She doesn't know if you're into her either. She's putting herself out there with these signals, hoping you'll pick up on them and make a move. It's not playing games. It's just how human interaction works. Now, let's talk about what actual interest looks like. Not the pickup artist BS about indicators of interest, like your tracking data points. I'm talking about real human behavior from a woman who actually likes you. Picture this. You're at a party or a bar or wherever. You're talking to this girl. Here's what you're looking for. Is she facing you completely? Like, is her body oriented toward you? Or is she kind of angled away, keeping one foot pointing toward the exit? Is she engaged in what you're saying, asking follow-up questions? Or is she giving you one-word answers while looking around the room? Here's a big one I missed for years. Does she find excuses to touch you? And I don't mean anything inappropriate. I mean, like, does she touch your arm when she laughs? Does she playfully hit your shoulder? Does she find reasons to get closer to you physically? If a woman is comfortable being in your physical space and initiating casual touch, man, that's a signal. Does she laugh at your jokes even when they're not that funny? Look, I'm going to be real with you. If you make a mediocre joke and she's cracking up, either you're way funnier than you think or she likes you. And honestly, it's probably option 2. Does she remember stuff you told her? Like, You mentioned your dog's name once 3 weeks ago, and she brings it up now? She's paying attention because she's interested. Here's another one that guys miss constantly. Does she try to extend a conversation? When there's a natural ending point, does she bring up something new to keep talking? Does she suggest hanging out again? Does she say stuff like, "Oh, we should check out that coffee place you mentioned," or "You'd love this show I'm watching. We should watch it sometime"? Wait, let me clarify what I mean by that last one, because this is crucial. When a woman suggests doing something together in the future, even casually, she's testing to see if you'll actually make it happen. This is the signal so many guys miss. She's basically handing you an invitation, and all you gotta do is take it. Let me give you a specific example from my own life where I completely blew it. I was at a coffee shop, studying or pretending to study, or whatever. This girl I'd seen there a few times sits down near me, starts a conversation about what I'm working on. We talk for like 30 minutes. Great conversation, lots of laughing. She mentioned she's trying to find good places to go running in the area. I, being a complete idiot, just recommended a few trails and went back to my laptop. You know what I should have said? "Oh, I actually run that trail on Saturday mornings. You should come with some time." Game over. That's it. She gave me the opening, I just didn't take it. I found out later from a mutual friend that she'd been hoping I'd ask her out, and I was sitting there like, wait, she was interested? Looking back, man, the signs were everywhere. She chose to sit near me when there were other open seats. She initiated the conversation. She brought up an activity that could have been a date. She laughed at my jokes about statistics homework. Nobody thinks statistics homework is actually funny, but I missed it because I was stuck in my head, convinced that girls like her didn't like guys like me, you know? Here's the thing, though. Even when you start recognizing signals, you gotta actually do something about them. This is where guys get stuck in analysis paralysis. They're like, okay, I think she might be interested, but what if I'm wrong? What if I make it weird? What if... Stop. Seriously, just stop. Here's what you do. And this is so much simpler than you think. You take a small, low-pressure step forward. You don't need to make some grand gesture or deliver a perfect line. You just need to show that you're interested too. If she's giving you signals in person, reciprocate them. If she touches your arm, you can do the same. If she's laughing and engaged, stay engaged too. If she mentions doing something together, say, "Yeah, we should do that," and then, and this is critical, actually follow up. "Hey, you mentioned wanting to check out that new pizza place. I'm free this weekend if you want to go." That's it. You're not asking her to marry you. You're suggesting pizza. Low stakes. If she's giving you signals over text, she's texting you first. She's using exclamation points and emojis. She's asking you questions about your life. She's keeping conversations going. Then you escalate slightly. You move from just texting to suggesting you hang out. "This is fun talking about this. We should continue this conversation over coffee," or "You seem cool. We should actually hang out sometime." And yeah, I know what you're thinking, but what if she says no? Okay, real talk. She might. Rejection is part dating. It sucks. I'm not going to pretend it doesn't. But you know what sucks more? Spending weeks or months wondering what if, and then finding out she was interested the whole time, but thought you weren't into her because you never made a move. I've experienced both, and trust me, the regret of not trying is worse than the sting of rejection. At least with rejection, you know, you can move on. With regret, you just sit there torturing yourself about what could have been. Here's something else I wish someone had told me earlier. Women aren't sitting around trying to trick you or play games with mixed signals. Most of the time, if she's giving you positive signals, she genuinely likes you and wants you to do something about it. She's rooting for you to make a move. She wants this to work out too. But, and this is important, you gotta be able to tell the difference between interest and just being friendly. And honestly, context and consistency are your friends here. If a woman is friendly to you the same way she's friendly to everyone else, that's just her personality. But if she's treating you differently, giving you more attention, more eye contact, more physical proximity, more personal questions, then yeah, that's probably interest. If it happens once, it might be a fluke. If it happens consistently every time you see her or talk to her, man, she's interested. And look, I'm not saying you should ask out every woman who's nice to you. I'm saying pay attention to the whole picture. Is she going out of her way to talk to you? Is she making herself available? Is she dropping hints about her availability, like casually mentioning she's single or that her weekend is free? These things add up. One more thing before we wrap up. Stop assuming she's got a boyfriend unless she specifically says so. I cannot tell you how many guys I know who've talked themselves out of making a move because they assume she must be taken. And yeah, sometimes she is. But a lot of times, she's single and wondering why you haven't asked her out yet. All right, let's bring this home. Here's what I want you to do this week. First, think back on your recent interactions with women. Are there any signals you might have missed? Any moments where someone might have been showing interest and you didn't act on it? Don't beat yourself up about it. Just notice the pattern. Awareness is the first step. Second, start paying attention going forward. Not in a weird, overanalyzing way, but just be present. Notice when someone's putting an extra effort to talk to you, to be around you, to learn about you. Notice when the conversation flows easily and she seems genuinely interested in what you have to say. Third, and this is the scary part, but you got this. Next time you think someone might be interested, take a small step forward. Suggest hanging out. Ask for her number if you don't have it. Respond to her signals with your own. You don't have to be perfect. You just have to try. Look, man, dating is messy and uncomfortable, and sometimes it doesn't work out the way you want. But I promise you, the regret of not trying is way worse than the temporary sting of rejection. And the best relationships, the real connections, they start with someone being brave enough to take a chance. You're capable of this. You're capable of recognizing when someone's interested, and you're capable of doing something about it. You just got to get out of your own head and trust yourself a little bit. If this helped you see your situation differently, hit that like button and subscribe for more real talk about dating and relationships. Drop a comment and let me know, have you missed signals before? What happened? Let's talk about it in the comments. And hey, go get him. There's probably someone out there right now giving you signals, hoping you'll finally notice. Don't keep her waiting. I'll see you in the next one.